Hey there guys, Stranger1 here, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. It's been a long time since I made a Division 2 video, and that's because I really haven't been playing the game. At the end of the episode 1, I had everything done. So, I had a really good PvP build, and then I never touched Dark Zone, or PvP. And then that PvP build's really good in PvE, and then I never touched PvE because there was no reason to. Why are you named? What is your purpose? Who are you? Okay. But episode 2 dropped. I haven't touched episode 2 until earlier, like last week. And I've just been playing ever since, watching some builds. This one is based off of a template that was released on YouTube. Really helped me out figure out this build. Name Patrick Wolf. He's a great YouTuber. Has lots of builds on his account. So go out, check him out. I really recommend it because it helped me kind of develop this build quite a lot. This was from his template. I tweaked it to my own liking. And yeah, let's go over it quick. I'll show you my specialization quick. This works with one specialization. I probably should actually tell you what the build is. It's a Pyromaniac Flame build. Focused on high DPS, high armor. And some tweaks I made was kind of mediocre hazard protection, not 100%. In Patrick Wolf's video, he had 100%. I tweaked it a bit because I don't have certain armor pieces, nor do I think I need them for this build. So for the specialization, we have to run Survivalist, mainly for this incendiary grenade, so we can apply burn, and so that way Pyromaniac, I'll get to that later, can go into full effect. Another reason we use this is for a very important part. It's the healer mine. This thing, incredible. Absolutely incredible if you have high enough skill, which I don't think I even do. No, I don't. Though I think I actually just got something that did. Did I just get a skill haste? Okay, well, either way, it's very good, even without the really high skill haste, which I do recommend for this build. It's still a 25-second timer, which is still crazy. Another reason to use this is mainly for vital protection, because in PvP people use pulses all the time, so you have that pulse protection. You also have scrap and buy, which is great because Pyromaniac runs out of ammo very quick, and you also have crunch time. So this is where that skill haste stacking would really help, because you already gain 20% skill haste while in cover. Imagine that with all the skill haste mods you put on. That's incredible. Also, disruptive repair is something I don't normally run, but I'm going to try it from this build. Otherwise, I'd probably stack into LMG damage, because you could run this with the secondary LMG. 100% spec into AR damage, and for my purpose of my build personally, I spec'd into SMG build or damage because of my second weapon I'm using, which I'll get into now. So let's go into the weapons of the build. First is the whole reason this build works is Pyromaniac. It is a named weapon, obviously. I honestly thought it only dropped in heroics when I started grinding for this. I was doing one of the dailies. I think it was Jefferson Trade on just hard, because I was just chilling, just getting those missions done to get the gear sets, and I had Pyro drop. It's great. It's really one of the best guns in the game. So let me go over a quick Pyromaniac. It's basically an M4 model. Its name, it's AR. Very good. Its talent is perfectly ignited. Deal 40% weapon damage to burning enemies, which is where the incendiary grenades come into handy. And after 2 kills, I think it's usually 3 kills on ignited, applies burning to the next enemy. So basically, you throw a nade, you get a kill, you get a second kill. You then have perfectly ignited, ready to proc. You shoot the next target, you kill him, kill another guy, you get it again. It just continues and does not stop. This gun is honestly probably one of my favorite gun of the game. It took over my Merciless. And you guys saw how much I loved the Merciless back when I first started Division 2. And why it was so good. And it even got buffed. I haven't touched it since it got buffed. So who knows? The secondary talent slot is extra for that 20% mag capacity. I think every single one of pyros drop with it. I'm not sure. I've seen it on everyone's build, so I have no idea. But I do know that the holster one is random. I got in rhythm, which is actually very good, and especially for certain things like my seeker healer. If you don't know what it was if you don't want to read it, in rhythm while equipped, enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns. Can occur every 60 seconds. I don't use my seeker all too much in PvE. I don't need to heal that much. This thing shreds. It actually shreds. My second one is the Chatterbox. Everyone knows about the Chatterbox. It's great. It's incredible. Its Blabbermouth holstered perk is honestly incredible, and is the main reason I use the gun almost exclusively, since I don't have an Eagle Bear. But to be fair, this holstered perk is also really good because it does spec into explosive, which you could also spec into a little bit. Nemesis isn't a bad shot as well, since on PvE I do have a certain mod on the Pyro that is technically a scope, so it does give you that 15% headshot damage. But speaking of mods, let's go into the mods I use on my Pyromaniac. For PvE, I'm going to use the C79 scope. I know there's a better scope for damage to elites out there. I don't have it personally. I haven't played it for a while. So this is what I'm going to run. If I'm going to play PvP, I'm going to switch to the T2 macro red dot, so that I can have that a little bit more accuracy. I could also use the smaller RDS for the stability as well, because this thing does kick like a horse, just a bit. But yeah, for PvE, I'm going to use the C79. This is a PvP build, but it is very, very strong in PvE, so I recommend playing it both. For the mag, I only have the light extended. You could get the heavy extended, well, not the heavy extended, but just the more infantry extended one. It gives you plus 20, puts you up to like 50 something. So you could run that too. I only have the light extended. I gotta grind this game more, but this is what I'm using on the gun currently. You could also go for these for the increase in stability or the increase in optimal range, but in this game, all the rounds matter. Larger mag size is the win, especially in PvP. For the grip, I'm using the angled grip for that stability increase. You really could also use it for crit hit chance or critical hit damage. More of critical hit damage, because if you have a good shot in this game, you don't need to really worry about critical hit chance. I personally don't have to worry about it. I have a pretty decent shot in this game, especially with my updated controller. So I have that going. And then finally I have the 5.56 rifle suppressor. Range isn't too important on this gun. Yes, it does have a damage drop off, but most of your encounters are in close range, so range isn't very important. Stability is more important. You keep it on the head, you're going to get kills quicker. That is the name of the game, which is why I'm running 2 stability ones, and you could possibly run this as well. The balance spring. Or even a sight that gives you stability, like the RDS, like I was telling you about. So yeah, those are the mods I'm running on my Pyromaniac. My special, or my sidearm is the Survivalist D50. I don't have a good roll D50. If it is, I'm not sure what I'd run. Probably anything other than Vindictive. But yeah. I would also recommend Liberty for this build, and maybe run some other kind of weapon. Maybe a LMG with who knows what. Or an SMG. I do think an SMG would be very good with measured. This right here is a great example. Has measured, Allegro, and rooted. So this is also a very good also choice if you want to run Liberty. Now moving on to the armor. This, I have one piece in here that I'm not 100% sure on. It's my mask. I have a little notebook, literally, right here, where I was writing down the build that I want. I was writing down like modifications to it. My chest piece isn't exactly how I want. I wanted Bloodsucker on it. I know it's broken, but I also know it's getting nerfed. The devs have been talking about it, so I avoided grabbing a Bloodsucker chest piece, just for that reason, so this build can stay relevant. Let's go into the build anyway. English. The mask is a mask I've used multiple times before. In Patrick Wolf's video, he used the I think it was the Hollow Man, where it basically gives you 100% hazard protection. I know in PvP hazard protection is great. You could switch to something like Raleigh with 48%, but I didn't think it was that necessary, at least for PvE and part of PvP. So I have mine that I've used before. It has hard hitting, which does not stack anymore, so I only have one of them. Which I also have 33% damage to elites, so I'm basically doing like 58 damage to elites on one armor piece. Critical hit damage. Critical hit chance is also spec'd on this. I want to probably reroll this to critical hit damage, because like I said, I don't have a problem hitting crits, so I think it's not really necessary for me to have critical hit chance on here. I'll probably spec it to critical hit damage. This brand set does have hazard protection, so I recommend grinding out a Richter and Kaiser mask, so you can at least get the hazard protection and have these kind of perks and talents. So definitely go for that. The backpack is where most of my tankiness comes from. It's a Gila Guard, so it gives me that 5% total armor. I also have a second Gila Guard in this build, so it does give me that 20% hazard protection, so I am covering that front just a little bit. My attributes, I have 15% total armor, as well as 26,000 armor. With that 2.5% critical hit chance, I would reroll that, but I modified the armor a bit. I do have Efficient on here. I would like to reroll that. I really don't like Efficient. I don't use armor kits really all that often. I'd prefer something else, like maybe a Spark. Spark one would be great. Unfortunately, I don't have it on this, nor can I re-roll it. So that sucks. I actually have not spec'd this for mods. I do this every video. Shit. I just want more armor. So yeah, basically this build is 400k armor build. It has no skill power, sadly. I don't really use any DPS kind of skills, so skill power isn't very important to me. I do know it does increase your healing, but my healing is fine with the healing drone, so I'm not too worried, because this also... Oh! Bruh. Going on the rain now. Where was I? Yeah, I also have Vital on here. The health doesn't really affect me. I mean, having higher health might affect you guys, so if you want to spec into health, go ahead. I spec personally to armor because I feel like armor is a bit more tankier in this game. So, I also don't think the 3-piece, right? The Gila Guard is important. I don't use a pulse for this build. So, yeah, let's move on to the chest piece. I actually do have a utility mod in here that I did not actually pay attention to. So I'd probably spec in the skill haste. I only have, or a high skill power one. Like I could just throw in my 149. Actually, I do have burn damage on this one. I did not know that. Or burn duration would also be good. Anything with burn, I think would be good. So, like I said, let's move on to the chest piece finally. This is my other Gila Guard with another 15% total armor, as well as some 7% weapon damage and 7.5% headshot damage. I probably could re-roll this for a higher weapon damage. In fact, I probably will re-roll it for a higher weapon damage. But that's not the point. I do have another Gila guard right here, which I don't think is good enough in my opinion. I also did roll with hardened, so it's the reason why I'm using this specific one, because I know this Gila, this restorative. This is the piece though where I'd like. Do I have a bloodsucker on me? Okay, well I don't have a bloodsucker on me. That's a rip. I would like bloodsucker on this, but this is the piece of armor really, besides my backpack, that's keeping this build together. It's the reason why I'm tanking a lot and surviving a lot. For the mods, I'm running just weapon damage. I recommend getting a better offensive mod than I do. Get it more weapon damage or more AR damage, spec more into AR damage if you're going to use the pyros as much as you are going to. If you have an Eagle Bear, definitely spec in the AR damage. If not, just spec in the weapon damage overall, so you can also increase your chatterbox. I have a lot of armor on here. Again, explosive resistance is also very good, so you can be more tanky, especially in PvP. The gloves was a difficult one for me. I wanted the Fenris piece with Wicked, but unfortunately I grinded forever and I could not get one, and I can't roll one on here because I rolled assault rifle damage on here already, which is already 22% on this piece as it is. With critical is not bad. I actually don't mind it, because like I said, I don't have a problem hitting it. You could potentially run the BTSU gloves, since you are applying status effects at all times. Because one of the skills that I would recommend using with this does apply status effects. So I really don't know what to say. You could use this, you definitely could. I just recommend a Fenris set for gloves, so you get that increased assault rifle damage, and spec for assault rifle damage on your gloves as well for your attributes, and get some kind of perk for DPS on your gloves, because this piece right here is where most of your DPS will be coming from. And then I also am running a 2-piece True Patriot. This was part of a build from Patrick Wolf that I'm finessing, and the only reason I'm running this is because it's 10% total armor. I do plan on making a True Patriot build, actually. I do think this is a great gear set. It's definitely fun if you're playing with a group, so definitely go ahead and do that. I mismodded this one and accidentally put crit hit chance on here, so I have a very high crit hit chance as it is. I meant to spec in the crit hit damage, but it's alright because I have high weapon damage on my mods, so it increases my overall total weapon damage. That's it for the holster. You could also run your Dodge City Gunslinger. I think it's very good. I think it's actually very good. It's a very good one. You could run the exotic knee pads as well. I don't have them, so I'm running. Otherwise, I'd probably switch to a True Patriot mask. I don't have one on me right now, but I definitely would. Finally, let's get into the knee pads. I rolled mine with incredibly high, or not incredibly high. This could definitely be higher. I rolled mine with high armor. I'm pretty sure I have one with higher armor somewhere, but I just don't have it on me right now. I did get mine for the offensive and a defensive mod slot, which I think is incredible. I think it's great. I could get a better mod for the offensive. I definitely could, because I'm not using a rifle. But it'll have to do for now. These skills I'm using, obviously first we have the Mender drone. It's great. I definitely need to up my skill power so I can get mods on it, but it's whatever. For PvE, I run the Revive Hive. You could also run things like Stinger Hive, Restore, anything that really helps. For PvP, I genuinely would not run anything other than Chem Launcher with Firestarter, because then you can just dump that and already start melting. So I really think that's important for PvP, because you have your healing right here. You don't need to worry about it. I mean, you could use a pulse, but none of us is gonna. It's not gonna start any fires. The only thing that's gonna start a fire is you could use Incinerator actually could be better, as I think about it. But for the meantime, I'd run the Fire Starter or Incinerator for PvP. So yeah, that's really all that is for the build. The stats. Obviously, the only perk that is not active is Vindictive. It's because it's not good. So my weapon damage is stuck at 18k. That's because it's Pyro. PvP damage isn't great unless you get that perk going. Sorry. My all weapon damage bonus is only 14%. I can 100% get that higher if I get better mods, so that's not a problem. 37% off of just one piece, I think is really good. I could definitely also get that higher again with more mods, so definitely not bad. SMG damage is okay. It's whatever. You're not going to use the Chatterbox much, you're using it mainly for its holstered perk, so don't worry about it. Damage to Elite is only 63% for only having it on one piece, and the mod for the scope, so it's not bad at all. Let's go look at our defensive stats. We're sitting at 400k armor, it's 400k. Don't even tell me it's 399k. Okay, boomer. My armor regeneration is kind of low, but it's okay because we have that healer drone, so I'm not too worried about it. Max health is only 33k. Again, I don't spec in the health, so I'm not really worried. I do have high health generation, so 15% protection from elites. I'm not too worried about elites. I will destroy them. We have that 50% pulse protection from our specialist. We got 30% hazard protection. It definitely can get better. Definitely can. I'm not too worried about it. That's really about it. Cooldown to 60. Definitely could get better. I have 0 skill haste. Could get better, and so can my skill power. So that's about it for stats. So let's go show you exactly how much damage this thing really can do. Also, if my voice seems kind of quiet, I'm tired. I've worked a lot. So first, I'm going to show off the drone. Look how fast that thing heals me. And it follows you. Okay, well, it's supposed to follow you. And then let's show off Pyro a bit. Yeah, you melt quick. So with Pyro activated, I got a 6.5 TTK. I'm gonna have to clear this quick. Okay. So without it, and getting the perk procced, I'll show you how quick you really can do it. And then let's bump it up to see how fast we can melt through certain enemies. No, I'm on the gold. Okay, we got some golds in there. So first let's proc this. I want to get the perk going. So you get the kill. Perk it. Oh, you go. He's on fire. 4 times the damage. Absolutely melts. This is where I think the bigger mag would also come in handy. So yeah, let's also go check out the DPS then. I want to see how strong this is. This is normal. 116. It definitely does about 4 times damage. Oh, what's increasing though? Keep in mind, I'm only 37%. Nor am I hitting headshots either. So let's see how high we can actually get it. It looked like 7 point something K was the highest. I'm definitely gonna show a different video with some gameplay of the build in PvP and in PvE. This one was just a build video, stuff that I used to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely think this is a strong build for 1.6. Who knows what happens in 1.7 and in episode 3? What kind of build is going to be just at the top? I know Rail Splitter is very strong right now. I don't have it, so I have to go get that. But in all seriousness, I appreciate you guys really supporting my Division 2 videos. I hope to make more. Some Destiny 2 content will come out. This one's not going to be edited. It's going to come straight to you guys because this is a build video. I don't need to edit it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And take care, agents.